Hey tubers, it's Monday, December 17th. That's the time. That's the temp in the garage. And no, the heater isn't going because I don't plan on working out here today. I got phone calls to do and a few other things to do. I did go ahead and I printed out the painless manual or instructions for my painless wiring harness. And I got a few phone calls to make to them. The wiper motor, we got it pretty well all established. The only thing is I got two wires down here, a blue one and a tan one that isn't marked. And so I need to know what those are for. I got it to do high speed, low speed. There might be an issue with it parking, in other words, stopping at the same spot, but we can work on that. And I haven't got the windshield washers figured out yet, so we got that to do. So, what Classic Industries showed up. This is the rear glass for the rear, and this is a whole bunch of other parts. They were having a promo code, or promo sale or code or whatever, that if you purchased $149 or more in merchandise, that they would knock 35% off. The window was $129 and the trim to go around the window was $159. So I figured what better time to sit there and do that. I took a bill that was close to almost $400 and knocked it down just to about $283 with their promo that they had. So it's good. I hope they do it again when it comes time when I need to get the front windshield. But I need to open these up and check them and make sure everything got here okay, and then put some parts up, and we'll go. Again, I am not working in the garage today. I have phone calls to make. One to painless for sure, and a few other things. So we'll pick this up tomorrow, and or maybe I'll just show you everything that I got once I get it unpackaged. Okay, later. Yeah, this is the rear glass. And it is in one piece. They sure as heck did a hell of a job in packing it. I just got to put it all back in the box until I'm ready to do it. So more in a minute. Got the window back safely in the box, and that'll get installed here probably in the next couple of weeks. The other thing I got was this. This is the reproduction trim going around the window. Then I got these. Stockpiling my stuff up to get the window. These are window guide plates for the front. So place that there. This is the installation tool for the trim, supposedly. No, never used one, but we'll find out. Throw this trash away. Let's see what else. Door panel retainer guide, front. And two of those. And then back glass molding clip kit. And I'll probably have to give Nick a call, Rare Rap, and ask his advice on that. So that's pretty much sums up what I'm going to be doing out here today. Now it's going to be on the phone, making some phone calls and sorting out some stuff. Then we'll be out here tomorrow if I get all my right answers or get all the answers I need. And we'll be putting the wiper motor back in and finishing up the wiring on that and hooking that up. I'll have to mark this to see if we do get it to park properly, and we'll go from there. So that's all I got for now, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Later. Hey tubers, it's Tuesday, December 18th. That's the time, that's the temp, and we're still on the wipers. I did find out a whole bunch of information last night talking to Painless. This lug on the wiper motor is power. This lug on the wiper motor is high speed, and this lug right there is low speed. Okay, so that's what I did find out. Also, looking at the schematic, here's the wiper switch. We have black, dark blue, and light blue. Okay, no yellow, but I got yellow on mine. On the coming out, I'll take a look. We're going to pull the dash apart and pull the switch out. So let's see. Continue over to heat resistor, stoplight switch. Hard to make out where the motor is. So dimmer switch. Let's see, horn, light, light, light. Wiper motor. So dark blue, light blue, and PPL. Oh, whatever. Wait, hold on, not that one. 18 yellow. So on the wiper motor it should be to this lug. See, to this lug, the first lug should be yellow. To the dark blue and light blue into the lug. Okay, and that's out of the hand. That's out of the assembly manual. I'm going to take apart the dash again and drop the dimmer switch and see drop the wiper switch and see what happens. First I got to get that Home Depot box over on the bench because it has the tool for removing the switch, and you need to put this in the back. Also, on my sheetrock patch, remember I said it was the paper? Yeah, well, it was the paper, and we're in the process. I'm cutting this out and getting it all ready, and then we'll hit it with some more mud again. But yeah, it was the paper that was bubbling up. But other than that, this is looking good. The rough sand paint, and you'll never tell it was what was there. So, but no, today we're on the car. Now we'll wait until Thursday or so. But I want to get the steering wheel dropped, dashboard dropped, and the switch out and take a look at that. And then we'll go from there. When I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Alright, steering wheel's dropped, dash is out, or the instrument cluster is out, and this is the plug for the wipers. So it looks like black goes to one, blue's the middle, which is this one, and then light blue is the far one. Now, back of the switch, I just need to know what wire goes to what connector, and that's where I'm at now. So we got to do some more research, because this doesn't tell me. It just tells me I should have a black, a dark blue, and a light blue, which I do. So back on the internet, and we'll do some more research, see what I come up with. Okay, so it's not going to sit there and bore you guys and me going to the internet. We are going to put the wiper motor back in probably tomorrow, and because we know that works. It's just sorting out the wiring and what's going to what. I got high speed, I got low speed. I don't have windshield washers, and it's totally back asswards from what they tell me to wire it up as too. So they should sit there and say the first one should be yellow, which it is, and they say the second one should be the light blue, and then the third one should be the dark blue. And it doesn't, because this connector came from Painless, and this one has light blue on it, so I don't know. And no, the connectors can't be reversed because the male ends on this one are further apart than that one, so the plugs are different sizes. Alright, that's all for today, and when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, it's Thursday, December 20th. That's the time, that's the temp. I just shut that down, and we haven't done anything on the wipers. And we got up this morning and sanded this all down and gave it hopefully the last coat of mud. We'll see how that sets up and dries. So yeah, I want to get it sanded the rest of the way down and then primed and painted, and then we can say goodbye to that job and I can start storing stuff back in here. First I got to brace this though. We'll brace that, but it's got to get painted first. Let's see. Let's grab the wiper motor out from under here. Hang on, I'm going to shut you down. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I wanted to get the wiper motor out from underneath the car. What I found out is that is positive. That's the high speed, and that's the low speed. Here's a picture taken from an original 68 Camaro. Yellow goes to the positive, is there. Light blue is for the low speed, which is there. And then black is for that's power. No, I'm screwed up. Hang on. Sorry about that. I wanted to get the wiper motor out from underneath the hood. Let's see what I found out. Yellow goes here. That's power. And then light blue goes here. That's high speed. And then black goes here. That's low speed. This is the windshield washer circuit. You can see the pump right down there with the hoses coming out. And this is yellow, and then this is dark blue. Okay. There's an old picture of the wiper circuit. What we have so far is we have high speed and low speed. We're questioning about whether it parks properly or not, but we have no washers yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take we're going to test the washer circuit, since we know this one's power. And we should be able to sit there and ground this one out and sit there and complete the circuit and sit there and activate the windshield washer. We're going to try that with the jumper cables here and see if that works. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to pull the pump off and probably order another pump and get it here and see what happens. But let's take a look and see what happens, and first we'll test it, and I'll bring you back when I do that later. Okay, see, we got power coming. We got power to the lead, negative off the battery, negative to here. And the pump doesn't even activate. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the pump off the wiper motor and take a look at it. More in a minute. Okay, I'm understanding more and more. I've never taken one of these apart. The only thing I've ever done to a pump in the past is rebuild the diaphragm back down in here. And it looks like the motor, because you can see the shaft lines up, the motor turns, and this must be the pump right here, and then these two must energize the solenoid, I'm assuming, sit there and get the pump start going. I don't know. Interesting. But when's the last time you saw that? Let me turn it around. Yeah. Well, I'm going to order one just in case. I'm going to put this back on. We're going to install the motor back in the housing. And then we're going to wire it up the way this diagram shows and the way the schematic here shows. The only question I have, and I can't seem to find it, is that what portion of the switch, when you plug it in, wire goes to what? And as you see, the switch has a light blue, a dark blue, and a black wire. So what portion of those wires connect to what terminal? Or I should say, what wire connects to what terminal in the back of the switch? I can't find that. So, but we're going to put this back together, mount it, and then we're going to see if it what we got and where we're at with it. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Alright, tubers, the wiper motor is back in and mounted up. This black wire is the only black wire I got coming out of the fuse panel that has anything marked close to the wipers, but if you look at it, and I don't know if you can make that out, it says washer pump. But when we wired it up before, we had the low speed on the washers. Remember, top one is power, next is is the high speed, and the black is the low speed. So if we go back to this is power, this is high speed, and this is low speed. This is the washer. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hook up the linkage. I'm going to index the one of the wiper arms so I can make sure that it parks, and then we're going to play with the wiring. When I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Now if we look at the windshield washer pump only, it says dark blue should be coming out of that plug. If we look here, it shows light blue coming out of the plug. It shows dark blue coming out of the wiper motor. And here it said it should be light blue. So when we extended these wires, here's the light blue and here's the dark blue. So if we go dark blue to dark blue, we're going to be wrong. And if you remember from, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I did call Painless, and a real nice guy by the name of Kevin helped me out, and he pulled a kit from the wiring harness kit from stock and sat there on the phone with me and told me this one is for the brake. If you sit there and hook up a brake pressure switch to sit there and give you the idiot light telling you you got something wrong with your brakes. Well, we're not using that. And he said this top black one is for the wipers, and we are using that because that does go to the low speed of the wiper motor. So seeing where the fault is as far as in the wiring is with Painless, and sitting there going the dark blue and the light blue have been switched because light blue's down here and dark blue's up here. we'll switch the wiring and see what happens. Hang on, when I get more, I'll turn this back on. Sorry about that, tubers. I don't know where I left off on, but the battery died. So the wipers are hooked back up to the motor, or at least the the mechanism is. I got a indication mark right there. Just make sure that it's going to park itself properly. I got it temporary wired up to fit what the schedule, to fit what the diagram sits there and talks about as far as the color wires. Oh, the clock's going off. Cool. So we will turn around and we will hook up the battery and we'll see what we got. Alright, as you see on the switch, I had to hook up a ground wire because the switch is usually in the dash being grounded, so I had to hook up a ground wire. We will turn on the car. I will pick up the switch and hopefully I can do this one-handed. Okay, nothing. Alright, let's check it out again. Turn the car off. Give me a minute. I'm going to need both hands. I'll bring you back when we're done. Alright, it was a loose connection. So motor sure moves around a lot though. I'm going to have to look and see what the noise is. Maybe just some grease. Now let's see if it parks. Alright. So, I think that's it. Now, let's see if the washers work, the pump. All you got to do is push down and it should nope. So I'm thinking the pump's gone, or something's wrong with the pump. So let me do a little bit more investigating and I'll bring you back. Hang on. I just figured out what's going on, and it wasn't me or my son in wiring this. It goes back to painless. And in case you guys are figuring out, maybe I should have plugged this plug into here and that into there. They won't interchange. This one will only fit there. If you look at the size of this plug right here, looking at the top, and looking at the top of this one, you'll see it's the same plug. You'll see that its plugs are further apart than the black one. You guys figured out what painless did yet? Huh? If you look here in the small plug going up to the wiper motor itself, we have both the yellow wires. We got the main feed coming in here, and then we got this feed coming into this one. Well, that's funny. This should be over in the black one, and this should be over here. They plugged the wrong wires into the wrong circuits. Okay. You know, this is my 5th painless harness, and this is the first mistake I've ever seen in painless doing it. And plus this wire for the low speed, sitting there saying wiper. It says wiper, God, where is it? No, I can't find it. There it is. And it says I don't know if you guys can make it out, but it says washer pump. Well, that's definitely not the washer pump, that's the low speed. So let's pop these out, switch them around, and get them to where they're supposed to be. More in a minute. Alright, power, yellow, double yellow into the small black connector, and then light blue coming out for high speed on the wiper motor. Okay. Double yellow, then light blue coming out for high speed on the wiper motor. Okay. Second yellow, right there, coming out, coming around, and going into the pump, and then dark blue. Going into the pump connector, and then dark blue. It's the only thing they did, is they swapped the connectors around. Must have been a Friday assembled harness, or a Monday assembled harness. Okay. I can't fault Painless, because we're human, we make mistakes. I fault myself for not figuring it out earlier, and just sitting there doing it. So this looks to be about 14 gauge wire, dark blue and light blue. So not to confuse anybody else, I'm going to rewire it. If I use the connectors that we have, there would be 3 splices in there. I don't want 3 splices in there. I just want to go with the 2. So what we'll do is I'll go to the store, and I don't have any. I looked through all my wiring here, and I don't have any. I think this might be 12. Let's see, what's this? Now this is 14. Now that's a little thick. Now I got some dark blue here. Okay. So, but I don't have any light blue. So what we'll do is we'll rewire it, clean it up, and then put it all together. And I'm going to leave everything apart for right now. I'll probably pull this back out and lube it up and see why it's making so much noise. And I'll leave the dash out and the switch out, and until I get the pump. But I think it is a bad pump, and that the wiring problems are solved. So, okay, that was fun. But let's see, be a good project to finish up the wiring on this come Saturday. Like I said, I've been in this all afternoon, and just dawned on me what happened here, and interesting that it did. So that's all I got for now. When I have more, no, actually tomorrow will be another day. Tomorrow, Friday, nope, won't be working on it Friday. I'll probably run out and get the wire I need. There's this 16 gauge. God, it's awful thin. This is 14, and that's awful thick. So this has to be 16, and that could be 18 gauge. Yeah. So we'll get some wire. I want to get the appropriate colors so it matches. If not, I'll get darn close to it. And then we'll splice it and wire it all together and put it all back in and make it look nice and pretty. I want to go that route in case somebody comes behind me. At least it's right. And if they don't have to go through the painstaking method that I did. And thank God for this picture I found on the interwebs. Thank you, thank you. And I think I figured out how, and I think I got a good understanding on how wipers work now. So that's all I got for now, and we'll pick this up Saturday later. Afternoon, tubers. This is what, 5 after 1, and we're about 66 degrees in the garage, and that's what it's supposed to be outside here. But they do say we have a storm front coming in, so I'll have to look out for that. Now that I got the plug situation straightened out, I'm starting to then the wires, and this is where I left off yesterday. If you recall that Painless, when they put it together, put the wrong wires in the wrong plug situation, and it didn't dawn on me until I kept looking at this diagram that they did, and all I did was switch the plugs around and made them right. And a little slow in the uptake there, Tom, but we got it. So now we're just going to go ahead and do it and finish up the wiring, get it plugged in, and I do have another pump coming to see, because that one doesn't work, and we'll see what happens. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Well, it's all hooked up back to the plugs, and now we're starting to put the wire sheathing on it. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Right, there they are. That's the wiper, it's the low speed, and that's the pump. I'm not going to hook it up until I get the pump in and we change it out. And then once I do that, I will put everything else, including the dash, all back together. So that's it for today. Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, the garbage men are here. He's all the way down there. So that's it for today, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. I don't know. Got to think about what I want. Can't talk on what I want to do tomorrow. We could start with the rear glass, but I want to wait for that for a little until next week. But yeah, but we'll sit there and figure something out to do and keep moving forward on this thing. Again, I gotta stop here and get back on that jewelry box for my granddaughters and finish relining the felt on it and everything else. We'll be going to visit them on Super Bowl weekend, and I want to bring the jewelry box with and give it to them then. So let's see. That's all I got for now. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. Later, guys. Hey, tubers, it's Saturday morning. What? Saturday the 22nd, and we're reconfiguring the office. We're going to spin the desk to where this is going to be along the wall. That will butt up against the filing cabinet. Didn't like it the way it was before, where that was butted up against the wall. You had a small narrow passage to walk through here. So I'm waiting on Pat to come, because we should be able to spin this without taking down the computer, which in the computer CPU's right down there. And so yeah, so that's what we're going to do. That's one thing project today. Let's walk out into the garage. When we get that done, then I'm going to come out here, turn the heater on, get the garage up, and I'm going to sand and get the final coat of mud up here. And I think it's that blank silver can of paint is the color for the wall. I'm going to pull that down and see how good that is. Might have to go to Home Depot and get another gallon made up, but I want to be able to paint this and get it all back looking good. And then the third thing, if I get time to do it, is we're back on the car. And since we got all the parts, we're going to start taking a look at the dome light. I got the switches. Here's the double. Here are the old switches. There's the dome light. There's the bulbs for the dome light. The wiring harness, but there is a painless harness in there. Here's the old dome light. So that'll be the next project. So as I go along, I will bring you up to date. So as soon as Pat gets over here, it'll probably take us about, and the other, let me finish. As soon as Pat gets over here, it'll probably take us about 20 minutes to do the desk and get that situated. And then I'll be tinkering in there. Then out here, heat the garage up. I'll get the heater going. and so then I can mud that, and then we'll take a look and see what we can do on the dash lights. It's going to be, or on the dome light. It's going to be a little hard with it sitting like this, but yeah. So that's the projects for today, and when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, my son Pat just left. We got the desk spun around. Now I gotta fix all the computer cabling and everything else, and hook back up the internet and everything, and get that done. So, and then I went ahead and, if you can hear it, got the heater going. So get the mud going. I got to bring the mud in the house and warm it up. And we'll get going on that. I think we'll do that last, and we'll work on the car for a little bit and do that first, because that tends to get you really dirty, sanding and then mudding, and we'll do the mudding last before I have to go in and get cleaned up later this afternoon. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Office for the most part is done. Computer's back up and running, and I got a bunch of stuff I got to go through here and take care of that. And other than that, that's about it. This is the configuration we had it before, but the filing cabinet was over here and the desk went all the way back to the wall. I sort of like this with the filing cabinet there, and yeah. So, but that's done. Okay. Now we're going to tinker with the car for a little bit. I decided to go ahead and put the dash back in, put the hook, first put the wiper switch back in, put the dash back in, hook up the wipers, make sure they work. Put the instrument cluster back up, bring the steering wheel back up, and then sit there and start on the dome light. So that's where I'm at right now, and when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, steering wheel's up, dasher's back in. Checked it before I put the dash in. Let's check the wipers again, just to be on the safe side. All right. Now we get to play in search of all this, and figuring out what's going to be the dome light, sorry, and what's going to be what. So let's go, and fun just keeps happening here. Alright, more in a minute. Hey tubers, there's the flashlight, there's the magnifying glass, and there's the test light. These two wires say courtesy lights on them. So, I don't know. But, if we go to the handy dandy little painless instruction booklet, you have 945 white and 961 black. Now if you follow the schematic through, 961 black goes to there. That's a door switch, goes to the other door switch, and ties into the headlight switch, which I assume it does. And then we've got a 945 white that comes down, and if you look up there, right there, you see I got the wires for the dome light up there already. So I got to make a few phone calls, talk to a few people. I know the one on the driver's side, which this one is supposed to be dual contact. You'll see them right there and right there, because this takes it over and goes over to this switch. Okay, so I guess if either switch opens, then then the dome light goes on. The other side of the coin is, if we look at this, and in the minute you press, no contact, and then it's contact, and the ground itself is this screwing into the door jamb. So I don't know, I still got some questions, and I don't like wiring nothing unless my questions are answered. Plus my son's coming over this evening, and hold on, let's go over here. And with the young set of eyes, and if you see all those wires right there, we're going to look at those and label them, and I'm going to take masking tape and write on them because I can't make it out. I guess my 68-year-old eyes with the magnifying glass just can't sit there and see that small print. I was able to make it out on the black and the white one, but when you get to the color stuff, it's a little difficult. So we're done on the car for the day. And I've already mudded up here, so we're done with that for the day. We'll shut the light off. It is what it is. It's going to get painted. Escutcheons are going to be put around the pipe, and that's the way it's going to be. So I still didn't break that gallon down. I'll have to get that down. So that's it for today. If I don't make another video, which I doubt. Monday's Christmas Eve, Tuesday's Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I want to thank all my subscribers for watching, commenting, and of course leaving comments. It's been a fun year. Hopefully this is the last year this sits in the garage. Next year it's out driving. So again, thanks guys. Merry Christmas.